Welcome everybody. So today we're going to be talking about how to cry on cue. First thing that I want to get out of the way are for the actors. Many actors think in order to be a good actor, they have to be able to cry. Crying though doesn't define whether or not you're good or you're bad. All it tells us is that you have a certain skill. Just like some people have a skill to be able to play music, some can play an instrument, some people are really good at sports, they have different things that they can offer. Some people have the ability to cry on cue whenever they want. But if you can't cry on cue, that doesn't mean, hey, you're a bad actor. If you can cry on cue, it doesn't mean, hey, you're a great actor. It just means that you have a skill that maybe not everybody has. Just like if you can play the guitar. Well, if you can play guitar, that doesn't mean that you're a great actor or a bad actor. It just means it's another skill that you have. So crying, first, we have to realize is a skill. It doesn't define whether or not your acting's good or if your acting's bad. Now, in order to be able to cry whenever you want, we have to start thinking of crying simply. Most people think, oh, okay, I gotta cry. I gotta do some crazy, horrible, thing to be able to cry. I have to get into this mindset. We're gonna be talking a little bit about that, but I wanna make it easy. I wanna make thinking of this idea of being able to cry, having it be something that's simple, not something that's really complicated in order to get from where we want to get to, which is cry whenever we want. So there are two things that we have to pay attention to. We can cry organically or non-organically. So give me a moment, I'm going to write that on the board. All right, so here's what it really comes down to. You can cry organically or non-organically. We don't have to make it any more complicated than that. Crying now non-organically is one of the easiest ways that we can portray ourselves as crying to deliver the message or the story that we're trying to deliver in a scene or in a movie. So first off, this one is going to be the easiest one. And this one we use by other means. It's not thinking about anything. It's not using ourselves. So in order for it to be non-organic, we have to have outside elements making it seem as if we are crying or give the effect that we are actually crying. Tears are coming down from our face. So what people use when you're on a movie set or a TV show, you're going to have makeup artists where they put things to make it look like you're crying. They have this thing where they blow something into your eye and it waters. They have things where the makeup artists come and they make it so it's a little bit more shiny under your eyes. So it appears like, hey, you've been crying. You've had water coming out of your eyes. They add external elements in order to make it seem like you're crying. And these external elements come from your makeup artist. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that we don't have to go through any sort of mental trauma or any crazy thing. It simply is our makeup artist comes, they put stuff on us, and it makes it appear like we're sad, like we're crying. And then everything else applies into this. The way that the camera is filming us, the mood, how the lighting is, the story, everything that's been happening prior to what it's been leading up to. And then it creates the effect as if we're really crying. This is why when you see it in a movie or a television show, when someone's going to cry and the water is going to come out of their eyes, one moment you see that they're fine, and then the next moment it cuts, the scene cuts, it shows the other person, and then it cuts back to the original person, and all of a sudden their eyes are starting to water a little bit more. That's because they had to cut the scene and say, okay, great, now put on some of this aesthetics, make it seem like this person's crying, give that illusion, and then it appears as if the person is really crying. So a big factor to this then is the editing process. When it comes to the non-organic, it's the makeup artists, and then it's the editing process. So the makeup artists, they come and they make it so it appears like our eyes have been watering. They put on some makeup so it looks like we've been crying a lot. They put this brighter stuff under your eyes so it appears like it's wet. Sometimes they have this tool where they actually blow something into your eye and then your eyes will start to water and they get really red. But in order to achieve this, you can't have the scene happening, say someone's friend is dying or whatever, and the person is watching their friend die, and you can't have a makeup artist come, blow something in your eye while they're filming you, and still make it seem believable. So what happens is, you're looking at your friend, and then the camera's on you, and then it's going to change, the camera cuts, it looks at your friend, that's when the makeup artist is coming, they're putting the stuff in your eye, and the camera people say, okay, great, cut, film back on the actor who's supposed to cry, and then that's when you see the eyes are starting to water. That's when you see an effect is happening. That's why you see actors in one scene, they're not crying, no tears, no water coming out of their eyes, and then the next, boom, it's happening. Everything is working in order for you to cry. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is the organic way. Now the organic way is a little bit trickier than the non-organic way, just because it's It's with ourselves. We have to make it seem like we're actually sad. The tears have to actually come from ourselves. But it's not as hard as we make it to be also with the organic way. So the first one that we're going to talk about with the organic one, it's one of the easiest ones. This is something that I use all the time. And all you have to do is don't blink. What happens is when you don't blink, your eyes, they start to get a little bit dry, and your eyes have to moisturize themselves. So naturally what it's going to do, they're going to start to water. And while they're starting to water, if you make sure that you still hold your gaze and you don't blink, tears are going to start coming and running down your face. So for this one, it's very simple. You're staring at your other actor. And while you're looking at them, you're just not going to blink. This is why you see in movies or TV shows, you'll see actors and they're having this scene with another actor. If you really pay attention, watch any crying scene. Watch how many actors actually don't blink. They're literally staring without blinking at the person that they're talking to. And that will allow them to be able to cry. And that will be a benefit to you tremendously. You won't have to think of like your dead dog. You don't have to think of someone you've lost. You don't have to think of any sad moments in your life. Now you can. With this thing of being organic and crying, there are many different methods. I'm not going to go through every single method in the world. One, that would take a lot longer to shoot this video. But you have to use things that are simple, that are going to get to the point, and that work for you. And you have to put in the least amount of effort to get the most out of it. So you can think of all these sad moments to get you into the moment and have you cry. You can do that. But I like to work from the perspective of acting. You're pretending. You're going through. You don't have to harm yourself in the process of trying to get a result. So you want to be able to do a scene and you want to be able to cry. You could think of your dead dog. It's a horrible, sad memory to think of. I don't want to think of my dead dog. So what I'm going to do is I'm just not going to blink. I'm just going to stare at what I'm staring at and not blink and just hold my gaze. Keep my eyes open. Now, you don't keep your eyes wide open and you're just staring because that would be weird. You have to still be in the moment. You still have to listen to the other actor who's with you, but just don't blink and your eyes will naturally start to water. All right, now the second point that I'm going to mention is it's a physical thing that you can do in order to get to this place. Now, I'm going to put one more on here for the organic one. The don't blink, though, is one of the easiest things that you can do. In a way, I don't want to put anything else on here because you won't need anything else if you can follow this. But just in case, if you're wanting another idea or something else that you can try, I'm going to go ahead and give you that. So the second thing that you can literally do is sit down and have your breath go out really quick. And when your breath goes out, your stomach is going to go in and there's going to be a little bit of tension there. And what you want to do is you want to hold that tension. Because usually when we're crying, we have a little bit of tension that's building up in here. So what we do is we try to get there physically. So I'll be here, I can look at a wall, I can look at a person, whatever, and I go, I have the air go, it leaves. Right now I still have breath, so I can still talk, but you know the breath is starting to leave as I'm talking because I'm holding it. But I'm going to breathe in and then it's out and it holds. And then when you're in the moment and you're giving your lines, what you want is you want the tears to start to come out while you're in this moment. But like I said, what I like better is the not blinking. But I'll put this one down just in case if it'll help you guys. Now, the reason I put on here a little is because you're not going to go and hold your breath like that. It's literally, I'm here, everything's natural, I'm not doing anything weird, and I just let the breath out. And I'm holding that. Some people it works for, some people it doesn't. If I had to do this right now, I don't know necessarily how well it would work. I would really go and fall back to this, the not blinking. So as an example, I'm going to use the not blinking method. And if I'm using my method of not blinking, I can literally just stare. And my eyes, if you guys can see them on the camera, it's starting to water. And as you do this, you don't have to act or think of anything. I'm literally trying to look and not blinking. I might have just blinked a second ago, so I'm going to have to go a little longer. But I look, and I'm not trying to do anything. And then if you want to act it, you can. You can change your voice. Well, maybe it sounds like you've been crying or you're sad or you're upset. And you can change the voice if you want. But you don't have to. And if I can continue with this, and if I keep going, you'll see that the tears will come out. And all this is I'm just not blinking. And it happens, and then you can change your voice and you can make it seem like you've been crying for a long time, or you just don't blink. That's all it is. I'm not thinking of anything sad. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm not thinking about a dead dog or, anything. It's just literally not blinking. So, anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with everything. Give it a like if it helped you, if it was beneficial. Also, if you're an actor, I have created this 10-hour completed acting course for anyone who wants to be a part of it. It was something that a lot of people were asking me for, so I basically created a whole blueprint for acting. How to act, how to become a better actor, what you can do, because a lot of actors, they don't have a blueprint. Most actors don't even know how to practice. So I created this so you would all be able to find out how to practice. What's the blueprint for acting? What can I do? How do I be confident? What do I do in the audition room? How do I interact with my director, my casting directors? How do I get into characters? What are the secrets that I've been missing out on? So I'm going to leave that in the description down below and also in the comment section. And if you're an actor and you want to participate in that, go ahead and sign up. It just takes 2 minutes. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And remember, don't blink.